Swiss lady Andrea Etter runs a very successful Belmont house stud, and when we caught up with her, we asked the obvious question: how did she end up in County Offaly?
Long story, I suppose. My parents bought the place about 25 years ago as an investment and also to keep a few horses here. It started off being a small enterprise with only 2 or 3 broodmares, and about 19 years ago I said I could maybe come over to Belmont for half a year. At that time there was no indoor jumping, and I said I could come to Belmont and learn to speak English and do something else for half a year. And now, 19 years later, I'm still here and I really like it.
Andrea talked about her heritage within the horse business.
I suppose my father has been in the business since he's a young man. Both my grandfathers have been in the business of dealing in horses. The grandfather on my father's side was more into cart horses from Poland, and then my other grandfather from my mother's side was into all kinds of horses, including a few sport horses as well. So my grandparents, my parents, my 2 brothers, we are all into the horses. And each of us has their own little corner. One is doing more of the dealing, I'm doing the breeding, and Don is doing the show jumping, so we're all involved in the business.
So did Belmont evolve, or was there a specific plan?
I suppose it's easy to build up horses. It's easier to get more than to get less. It just got more and more, and I suppose when I decided to stay, then we tried to make a real business out of it, and it grew, and yes, we have quite a lot of horses around the place now. We will keep about 35 to 40 broodmares here of our own. Most of them would have either jumped international or they are daughters of international mares that we breed to our own stallions that we have here. At the moment we have 4 stallions here, 2 permanent stallions, Radolin and O-Piloth, and 2 young stallions that I leased for this season for a bit of new blood. One is a pony stallion called Cap Nor, and the other one is called Calicut Hero. They're both 3-year-olds, Belgium stallions, that I'd have a lot of faith in their pedigree and their performance to help us along in our breeding program. I suppose Radolin, I owe him a lot. He really helped me along in my breeding program. His oldest stock is only 9 years old, and he has produced international show jumpers already at that, as well as international eventers. I'd be lost without him. He breeds very saleable horses. They all have a very nice temperament. His rideability, or the progeny's rideability, is very good. They suit the international market, as well as they're very reliable horses for amateurs. They're very saleable horses. Then we also have O-Piloth. O-Piloth is a Dutch horse. He's by O-Piloth, that goes back to Pilot, as they call him here. He was ridden by Jeroen Dubbeldam, the Olympic champion, who also owns half of Radolin.
Andrea strongly believes in a natural environment for horses.
Yes, I hear a lot of people talking about foreign horses, as they call them here in Ireland, that they have no brain or that they are different. I believe that it's not the paper that makes the horse, it's where it comes from. And if a foal out of, say, a German mare by a Dutch stallion grows up in Ireland, where it's out in the field a lot of the time, has to drink its water from a river, has to go through a river in some instances. That's what makes the Irish horse, the way they grow up in big herds out in a big field, where they go into the woods and where they grow up in a very natural environment. I think that's what makes the Irish horse the reliable horse that we've all been talking about before. I would really be a great believer in keeping the horses as natural as possible. Most of even our ridden horses, we have the advantage that they grew up together, which obviously a lot of other stables don't have, but they would be all used to each other, so we tend to keep them in big loose sheds and even ride them from the field. That way it's easier, they are easier to handle and it's not as hard on them. I think it's much more natural and better for the horse. The horse is an outdoor animal and likes company. So what we try and do sometimes in locking them into separate stables isn't always the best for them, I think. Our 4-year-old that is going to go to Dublin, he'll get a huge shock if he has to stay in a stable day and night. At the moment he's out in the field every night with his friend, and it's going to be a big change for him going to Dublin and having to be locked in a stable day and night.
So what about the marketing?
We have different models. People either come here and they can spend a bit of time with them. We have a big house, so we try and make use of the house. People can come on holidays. During their holidays they can try and find their future either show jumper or their future amateur horse. They have time to try him in different environments, and they can have a look at their father, at their mother, and it gives them a little bit more of a background on what they are getting. That's how we sell some of the horses. Some others are going to my father and my 2 brothers in Switzerland. At the dealing yard we have over there. Usually they'd be about 5 years old by the time they go there. They would have been at shows, they would have been brought on, and they are then shown to our clients in Switzerland and sold from there on.
So after spending such a long time in Ireland, how does she see the future?
I'm proud to say that I am actually Irish. I got my double nationality. I have my Swiss passport that I wouldn't like to get rid of, but I also have my Irish passport that I'm very proud of. I plan to stay in Ireland for another little while. No, I'm planning to have my future here in Ireland. My plan is to breed good horses that make happy clients. I'd love to breed a horse that can jump at the Olympics. Even better if I could have my brother maybe riding a Belmont horse. We call them B horses. All our horses carry a B behind their name. So to have my brother riding a B horse at the Olympics or the World Championships would really be what I'd be hoping for, to get better and better and to have a lot of happy clients with horses that go well for them.
And so our final question to Andrea: what makes getting up in the morning worthwhile?
I'm in a very fortunate position that I like getting up in the morning. I like the job I'm doing. I love working with horses, and I'm fortunate again to have good people helping me. I'm also in a very fortunate position to have a lot of very good friends in this country, that between the friends, the people around me and the horses really makes it worthwhile getting up in the morning and doing the job that we are doing, which is not always an easy job. It's hard work from morning till evening, but I suppose if you're passionate about what you're doing, it makes such a difference. And when I did my apprenticeship as saddler, which I enjoyed doing, but then I really realized that too many people live their life just, they do their work and they live for their days off and their holidays. And I'm in a very fortunate position to say that I enjoy what I'm doing and I love it.